Hey, welcome to this episode of The Soul Trap. We're glad to have you here. Another one of those little bit behind the scenes. Recently we released one where Kevin and I were working on some different ideas and concepts. And even though, sometimes we each play our particular role as far as research and investigation and creativity and editing, we like to come together. There's a lot of conversation that goes on behind the scenes. We could do a podcast every day, all day if we wanted to. And there's just so much out there. But this one's one where we're coming to you once again. And those of you of the Sanhedrin, take a deep breath. This one will not include ghost hunting. So you're going to be good. You're going to be good. But we are going to be looking at some videos. And here, once again, let me set the table. I'm probably somewhere in between. If you look at a scale, and last time I think it was too broad. It was too narrow. I did 1 to 5. This time we're going to do 1 to 10. So if you did 1 to 10 on a scale of believability, reality, scariness, probability, whatever you want to call it, 10 being that's 100% fact, 1 being that's 100% air biscuit. It's nonsense. It makes no sense. I don't believe in it at all. I'm probably somewhere conservatively around a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or a 9. I don't know. I'm going to say I'm about a 7. I'm going to be honest and say I'm about a 7 in some areas. Samuel, who handles our research, he's our young person liaison. He probably errs on the side of about a 1 to 2. Yeah. I would say, unless you give him good. Now, there are some things that he's on, and I'm like, I don't know about that. But anyway, 1 to 2, right around in there. Brother Kevin is easy, no problem, conservatively, about a 17 or an 18. Would you agree with that? Okay, so.
On a bad day.
What'd you say?
On a bad day.
On a bad day. If he's in a very negative mood, he's at 16, 17. So we have some videos. We have some news things that we're going to be talking about. We want to start out by inviting you to send us some of your stories. Reach out to us, email us, send us some of your videos, video links. If you do send us a video that we use in one of our video reaction, we're going to make mention of you and give you credit on that because we want you to be a part of this journey with us. So we're going to do some video reaction. Before we get to that, though, I want to talk about maybe some things that are going on in the news, just some highlights in the news. Let's talk about front and center. Putin agrees in principle to a proposed 30-day ceasefire with Ukraine, but it comes with a long list of demands that must be met for his compliance. Are we going to World War III? Is there going to be a peaceful resolution? What do you guys think? Samuel, you've done a lot of research into this. Kevin, you've researched this. What do you guys think?
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting topic. And anytime you try to discuss what's going on between Russia and Ukraine, it's kind of like an endless cycle because on one hand, you have Russia, who is the aggressor, who I believe is wrong in what they are trying to do. But on the other hand, you have Ukraine, who's run by someone like Zelensky, who in my opinion is not necessarily the best person they have in charge right now, who is pushing not for peace, but for Russia to be destroyed. So some type of peace deal has to be done. Because on one side you want Russia, who just thinks Ukraine is an extension of Russia. On the other, you have someone who wants Russia to be taken off the map. And the way things are going right now, I'm sure 30 days will pass and we'll go right back to war again. Unless boots on the ground, World War III happens.
Well, did America get the mineral deposits and everything over there? Is that
I don't think that's gone through. I'll look that up real quick.
Because that'll change everything real quick. When we have when our interest isn't protecting Hunter Biden and what he's done over there, when his actual money in our pocket, that's minerals and whatnot, I think it's going to really change what's going on. But what's a ceasefire going to look? Ukraine's going to have to give up what Russia has taken.
Yeah,
there's no way to backpedal that. Russia's going to say, you know what, you can have it back now. That's not going to happen.
So here's what we got. Let's see here. Center for Strategic International Studies, which if you're not familiar with, that's a very interesting information source to get from the Illuminati themselves. It's the Illuminati, Sam. It's the Illuminati, Samuel. All right. U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky have reached a bilateral agreement for the United States to jointly invest in Ukraine's critical mineral and other valuable resources. So whenever you have an ambiguous statement like that, you're kind of like, It goes on to say, while the framework leaves many details to be worked out, there's nothing wrong with details. The devil's in the details. I digress. This is the first agreement of its kind. As additional countries such as Democratic Republic of the Congo, I didn't even know that was a country. Okay. Seek a similar deal.
Good movie.
Yeah. Understanding the terms of the Ukraine deal and its likely efficacy has important implications. So it's a bilateral agreement, and you're exactly right. For the first time now, the United States of America is going to have a financial, above-board vested interest in mineral and what other resources they're going to be talking about there. So now you have a real situation where, America does have a vested interest in it, and it does set us up. I would say this, though, Samuel. I think that there's no doubt that Russia is the aggressor, but I don't think it's an unprompted aggression. I think that, I think that the Ukraine has been a pawn of the West, and that's what we were talking about. I was just trying to remember before we went on air. You and I were talking the other night about the fact, I think you brought it up, how would we feel if Russia plopped down about 50,000 troops in Mexico City and said, hey, Mexico is now an extension of us. We did that with Cuba. You brought that up. We were like, no, you're not going to do that. And, Russia kind of feels like they're in that same position. The question has been, we've been able up until now to say we don't have any interest in the place, so why are we involved? I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 4 years that changes and Trump and the Republicans become the biggest purveyor of provocative war with Russia in the Ukraine. I know it's a huge statement to make, but can you see that happening?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah? What do you think, Sam? What do you think, Kevin? I'm sorry. I said Sam, didn't I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all good. I think they're definitely setting it up for that. That has to happen. That the Russia has to be provoked. That Russia has to be Gog Magog up there has got to be doing something. Mm-hmm. They got to be provoked. They got to be pushed to the limit to retaliate.
Oh yeah.
And they getting to us, like Zelensky said, is a little difficult because we have the ocean and we're strategic located. But who can they get to pretty quickly? That's our ally, not that far from them. They can go to Israel and start attacking down there.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a large Israeli population in the Ukraine as well too. So this is going to be an interesting one. Okay, so let's move on real quick. We got that. Let's see here. There's no connection here. Just so we're clear, these two are totally disconnected. So we have that deal going on in absolutely totally unrelated news. Iran, Russia, and China begin joint military exercise called Operation Maritime Security Belt in preparation for the possibility of coming global war. I'm sure that those two have no connection whatsoever.
Couldn't they have chosen a better name for it, though? That's pretty lame. I mean...
Yeah, Operation Maritime Security. It might sound better in Russian.
Yeah.
Положите, пожалуйста. Первые воздухи, первые...
Ты будешь со мной, блядь, так разговаривать, блядь, сейчас пизды получишь, черт.
Because you can see anything sounds cooler in Russian when you think about it. It could be Operation Garinsky. No, sorry. Okay, sorry. Anyway, you get the gist of it, right?
As always, have a nice day.
Anything sounds better in Russian. It just sounds more serious. Anything sounds more frightening in German. Like you could go through a drive-through and order McNuggets, but if you did it in Germany, you'd be like, Ein weißen Nuggetsen, weißen French fries.
Wir sind echt ein ultra heißes Team. Na logo.
And you'd be like, right?
You gotta give him the Elon.
The Elon.
Just got us demonetized. You can't do that.
I'm sorry, Samuel. I'm sorry.
Push the limit once, saying Russia aren't the bad guys.
Russia, okay.
Putting your hand up and doing the salute like just
My heart to yours.
My heart to yours. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, all right. I'm looking here. Anything else? A massive mob of anti-Israeli agitators stormed Trump Tower, demanding the release of their leader, Muhammad Khalil, while shouting "Free Palestine." What's so funny is there's women and homosexuals wanting freedom in Palestine. If you picked women in Palestine and homosexuals and dropped them in Palestine,
they would pick them and drop them off
buildings. They would pick them and drop them off of buildings. Yeah. Exactly. And we have video of that. What were you going to say, Samuel?
I was going to say, what do you think about what's going on in Syria right now?
We were talking about that the other day. There is no conversation going on about that. It's crazy, right? I mean,
think they'd be covering it nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No one's talking about it. It's crazy.
Yeah. Do you think that's going to cause any kind of problems with Israel?
Probably. I would assume so. But, I mean, it's for Christians and Muslims over there. It's any religion. They're just basically purging their country of beliefs.
Okay, so we need to put that, we'll put the clip, maybe some pictures of the news on that. So you're saying from your research that it's Christian and Muslim, it's not just a Christian?
It's not just Christian.
So it's secular. They're kicking out the Muslims. They're killing the Muslims and the Christians.
Unless you're an extremist, I would assume.
Wow.
There's definitely a clear distinction of what an average American citizen views as Muslim and what someone over there would view as Muslim.
Mm-hmm. So explain that. What do you mean by that?
Well, you look at someone over here who says that they're Muslim and they'll follow what they believe the Quran says.
Okay.
And they will do some of the fasts. They'll pray a few times and check off boxes, much like a Christian would in their life.
Okay.
But you have someone in the Middle East who looks at the Quran, and that is a religious and a livelihood to them. They will follow that book word for word, and if you don't follow that book, that doesn't mean that you're different. That means you're an enemy. And
okay.
I think that is one of the big deciding or pushing factors over it.
What do you think, Brother Kevin? What's your thoughts on it?
No, I totally agree. We've encountered a lot of Muslims here, especially when we were doing evangelism in Tampa. Tampa is a huge hotspot for Islam over here. They have the Islamic Society of Tampa Bay that is a huge facility, and then there's lots of Muslims, and we're knocking on doors. They're very secular. They have their traditions that they do. They got their prayer rooms, but as far as taking it word for word, they don't do it. But just like you said, it's the same thing as the average Christian. The average Christian is mostly Christian just in name alone.
Yeah.
But the Muslims over there, they don't play games.
Silence! I kill you!
So now, this is a little bit, speaking of that, did you see where the Republican was confronted after he refused to refer to the transgender? Here, we'll put the video up.
Also on Capitol Hill yesterday, a House subcommittee hearing ended abruptly when a Republican congressman misgendered Democratic Representative Sarah McBride. She is the first openly transgender lawmaker in Congress. Watch.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, we have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply...
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman? Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America? Please.
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this hearing.
You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
That's great, man. I love that, bro.
It is ma'am.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, Mr. And it's obviously it's a trans, and it's like you got to refer to him as her, and I'm not going to do that. And like, how dare you? This meeting's over. And the guy obliges him. He's like, boom, Meeting adjourned.
See ya.
So it's crazy, man. It is absolutely.
It is an outright embarrassing time to be a Democrat right now.
Oh, it so is.
Between the last meeting for the Congress when they were storming out, causing problems, and
With the signs.
Yeah, with the signs.
Elon steals.
Only cheering for war in Ukraine, calling a 13-year-old boy who became a Secret Service who survived brain cancer, calling him a DEI hire. I mean, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
They wouldn't even clap for him. What's funny is if you want to appeal to the younger generation, that's what you really want. You want the picture at the speech there of an old guy with a horrible unshaved beard and a ponytail and a cane yelling. That says progress and future right there if I'm a young person. So
Him and his pimp cane, man.
it's exactly what it was. Okay. All right. Well, we have covered all the important news. Don't even worry about checking any more news out. We just covered it and solved all of it for you right there in the first 10 minutes. So let's get down to video. We are doing research constantly. We're interested in the pursuit of truth, in connecting dots. In the pursuit of truth, it is often like finding a needle in a haystack, or maybe looking for lost leads in a trash dump.
Stop it! Get it! That's my school!
But regardless, you got to go through a lot of stuff sometimes to find that one nugget. It is panning for gold. We do believe that there are some strange things out there. And the more the veil is thinned, and the more video, and the more observation, and the more the very reality of the other world becomes ingrained in the collective consciousness, as Jung would say in his Jungian philosophy, the more we're going to see these things. The question is, what are we seeing? What is true? What is nonsense? What is somewhere in the gray area in between? So we have a set of videos we're going to take a look at. These are blind videos. They have each done their own research. We've all done our research, and we're going to decide and rank them from top to bottom when we're through. And then if you have any, please send them in. You never know, you might get used on a soul trap, and if they do, we will definitely give a shout out to you. All right. So Samuel, researcher; Kevin, editor, creator, researcher. Let's start, Brother Kevin. Let's start. Where do we want to start? We want to start with Sam?
Who wants to go first?
Who wants to go first?
Well, we can get mine out of the way.
Why don't we go with mine? Because I think mine are the real deal.
The cream of the crop?
Yeah, because we should have done, I'm going to tell you right now, we should have done that AI robot, or that robot kicking the soccer ball. That was real. Sam said it was AI, but...
You're AI, man.
I'm pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real, man.
You're AI. All right, so let's see this first one. You tell me what you guys think. Here we go. Boom. Now, let me give you my list. It's happening in the clouds. There's no shadows. There's no movement underneath of it. The lighting is pulsating, very much like in the book of Ezekiel, where it talks about coming to and fro. You've got different color lights there, much like the high priest, and similar to what Satan is mentioned in Ezekiel. And I'm not sure who put the music there, but it's very good music. And then when it was fading out, you've got a dark, empty spot there, which would be very similar to a wormhole or a black hole. You tell me that what we just saw was not. So I'm going to rate that. I'm going 8, 9, unless I saw something different. I'm right up there at the top. Okay, Kevin, what do you think? That's kind of scary.
The voice of
That's kind of scary. Kevin, you usually with me. Don't hang me out to dry. No, you're figuring no.
Looked a little CGI-ish, but
it says the man who works with CGI constantly.
Listen.
We're gonna go
I
with
think it's a really cool video. I could go on AIvideos.com and make that in 30 seconds, man.
Oh man,
it's your own family.
You're saying that was made by ChatGPT?
Oh, goodness.
Is that what they call it?
That one, yeah. Close enough.
ChatGPT.
Okay, I'm going to go conservatively. I'm going to go 7. Kevin, what do you go?
Yeah, we're going to go 5.
Okay. Wow.
We're going 5.
Wow, that's like a 0 for you. All right, Brother Sam, what are you thinking?
Go with the flat 1.
Not even a 1.
This is not a 0.
It's not a 0, though.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
He could have gone 0. He's very rude, so he's being gracious. Okay, all right, listen. So, potato. Here we go. Let's look at the next one. All right.
We ready?
We're ready. Now, this guy in and of himself is a pretty interesting guy to follow. I get some good material from him. Plus, I kind of like his hair.
Don't tell mommy what I told you.
Okay, here we go.
The governor says he can't get a straight answer out of anybody.
I want to get the answers. And when I was getting up, be candid with you.
Uh-huh.
100%.
Okay. Okay. How do you explain the blue, the trees? This is one where we were joking, but this is one where that's kind of spooky, man. The same thing happened in Maui.
Yeah.
The same thing happened in Maui. And we got an episode that we're cooking on. No pun intended. We got an episode that we're working on where there's a lot of reports coming out. Now, what's fascinating about it is the directed energy concept. There is a theory, and I don't have the book, but I will get a picture of it and we'll put it in the comments or put it on screen when we come back, about a doctor who came up with a theory about the Twin Towers, why they disintegrated the way that they did. Because even the explosions, even the internal explosions, which I believe it was, there's no way that a plane brought those towers down. But even the internal explosions, it's hard to explain the disintegration factor of it. And her theory was that it was a directed energy power source that cooked those buildings until they disintegrated. What's interesting is when you see all the reports, 300 miles off the coast that day, 300 miles off the coast of New York, was a hurricane. You can see that in the reports. That hurricane was going straight into that area, Manhattan, which is a rarity. On the day of 9/11, makes a hard right and eases off. It's interesting. The Bible says that Satan is the prince of the powers of the air. One of the first things that happened to Job and his children was a whirlwind. Right? The Bible says that God appeared in a whirlwind. It makes you wonder, when you look at this directed energy, if you were to talk about the power, I don't know that if you were to talk about alien power being demonic power and then back engineering travel, I don't think so. But if you were talking about demonic power, having aerial power and being able to grant that power to people, aerial power, that would be a fascinating study. I don't know what all went on, but I'm telling you that when you look at the Maui case, when you look at the LA case, when you look at HARP and the directed energy, when you look at the fact, it's not even secret anymore. It's not even a conspiracy theory. It is a fact that we are cloud seeding. I think we did an episode not long ago. We are messing with the atmosphere. I'm going to tell you, I don't know that that's what happened, but that little clip right there, bing, 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 that got my attention way north of 5 on the scale of 10. So I'm not going to put a number on it, but we're doing a show on that real soon because that got my attention. What do you think, Kevin?
I'm 100% behind the whole directed energy weapons and what's going on. Interesting. Sean Ryan had a doctor on a couple weeks ago or last week, and he was doing his residency, I believe it was, in Jersey on the day of 9/11, and he said that they were on call waiting for the bodies to come in. And he used some interesting terminology. He said, Sean Ryan asking how many people he saw. He said, well, none, because they were all disintegrated. I mean, you're talking like one of the top podcasts in the world right now. And that guy's out there saying that. So I think those directed energy weapons is a real legit thing. And just the whole blue roof situation is odd.
If you fly over these areas that are burned to the ground, you'll see in the midst of 20 homes that are just totally destroyed, one home sitting there because it had the right roof on it.
It is, and the trees. Yeah. What do you think, Samuel?
I think it's pretty plausible. I think I'd have to, if I wanted to believe it, I'd have to see some pretty big evidence of, because I mean, it's 2025. That was what, early or late 2024, I guess?
Maui? The fires.
The fires in LA.
Yeah.
And you'd have to have, in an area like that, such a well-populated and important people, everyone's going to have a phone out. If a laser shot down from the sky, someone has to have captured that on their phone. But
well, it also may be in like a light spectrum that our eyes can't.
Well, it could be an infrared.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know, and I would never put anything past our government. So I'm more inclined to believe that this is. I mean, there's questions about this.
Okay, which to say like, all right.
So that's a 2.
Well, if Samuel says there's questions, then
I'd put that at like a 6 or 7 on my list.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
So I mean, something went on there.
Something is going on because So to me, one of the things is it's not just that. There's other multiple connections there. So you're looking at this and you're going, we know what you're doing in the clouds. You're telling us that. We know, I mean, you're trying to scorch the sky in some way. We're looking at this stuff. So very fascinating case. Okay. All right. There it is, man. I've got 2 home runs right there.
Absolutely.
2 home runs. Okay. All right. Let's go, Kev. What do you got?
What do I have? What don't I have?
What don't you have?
So I have
just to be fair now, you guys have a high bar to hit because I've got 2 home runs.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I have some UFOs and then some skinwalker stuff.
Ooh.
So these are just videos that come across my feed, and because I look up weird stuff, the internet gives me more weird stuff to look up. So these are just some recent ones here.
Ooh.
Daytime UFO sightings are very interesting
very fascinating
to me.
Okay.
So watch this. This is TMZ actually reported this.
Whoa. Whoa.
What is that? Man, why is that flying?
We just did a show on that.
Yeah.
And that looks like a cylinder. You can't tell 3D. You can only tell 2-dimensional. Or really, that would be 1-dimensional, wouldn't it? Huh. You can't see the 3 dimensions, so you don't know the depth of it, what it is on the other side. But from that angle, it looks like a long cigar-shaped kind of a, right, which we just did an episode, and that's coming out real soon, a follow-up episode on that. That's broad day, and it's solid black. Now, is that alien? Is that otherworldly? No. There seems to be a shiny factor to it, but that's the sun coming in.
Is it a drone?
Could it be a drone?
What's weird is there's no visible propulsion. There's no blades. There's no afterburn. Nothing like that. It's just.
Can you play it again from the beginning?
Kind of just flying by.
Even in the regular recording, why does it look like it's jumping?
Well,
when it's going by without the edited speed, it still looks like it's skipping frames on there.
They're probably recorded on an Android. That's their problem.
So how fast, what kind of plane is this? Do we know?
No research behind it, or no information behind it. The video didn't really have any other follow-ups on it. But I don't know, it's weird.
I'm going to give it a 5. I'm going to call it right dead in the middle. That's an interesting one. I'm going to call it a 5. I think that there may be some reasonable explanation for that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the plane, how fast the plane is flying. You don't know the circumstances, the region where it may be. You don't know a lot of things like that. But I'm going to give it a high 4, low 5, right around in there. I like that. That's an interesting one, though.
I'm going 7.
7?
I don't know, man, like a 3 or 4.
3 or 4? That's
all
still
right,
good,
all right.
man.
I'll take a
anything
3 or 4.
north of 2 for him, and we're in gospel reading zone for him. Okay.
All right. Here's another one. This one might be the compilation. This is in Louisiana.
You always get good video from other countries.
Exactly.
Like, it has a fan, obviously, that's how it's in the sky. I'm gonna go outside. That's a helicopter, that thing. Oh, they're fixing to wreck into each other. No, they're not. It's not that high up, you weirdo. No, that's a plane up there. That's a plane. See how low it is? This is a plane.
Huh.
What is it? Like, that's what I think it's a drone.
You can see blades or wings. We don't know what that is.
And the light has changed directions off the side because it was on this side, remember?
But they're not horizontal.
With us.
They're vertical.
Wow.
It's weird. More views.
Wow, that's interesting.
So there's just a bunch of that.
It's interesting.
What do you think?
Some type of military helicopter, I'd assume, or some interesting new experiment they're trying. It's definitely man-made. It's not paranormal. Maybe a drone.
What makes you think it's man-made?
It's got propellers. You can hear it. It sounds like any other plane.
No, that's not propellers. That's the ambient noise.
No. You can see the thing spinning.
Or is it wings?
No.
Mothman?
No.
I don't know. It's weird because if you see it, the propellers would be on top if it was a drone.
On top or underneath, one or the other.
But these are vertical. They're on its back.
They're moving so fast you can't see.
And it's not moving inside. It's kind of hovering, which is
see that.
It's very odd.
And it almost looks luminescent to me, like it's not a solid object.
Yeah.
Go back to I tell you, it's very interesting too. The beginning cut where it feels.
They invert it. They invert the colors here, so that you can see a little bit more detail on what's going on behind it. I mean, they zoom in there.
Ooh.
It's
that, ladies and gentlemen. Those are wings. There's the head and the body.
See the legs? Those like feet. I like the soundtrack.
What is that?
It's just a type of drone, man, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's like it's coming out. Go back to the very beginning. There's a sharp, hard line, as if it's coming out of a dimension, a fourth dimension, being visited into our third dimension. Look at this hard line. Look at that hard line on the left.
Like, it has a fan.
Look at that. That's a hard line.
That's a helicopter. That's it. Oh, they're fixing to wreck into each other. No, they're not. It's not that high up, you weirdo. No, that's a plane up there. That's a plane. See how low it is? This is a plane. What is this? What is it? Like, that's what I think. It's a drone, but...
Yeah, did you hear her? That's what I think. It's a drone, but what? Why wouldn't you think it's a drone?
Yeah. It's weird.
The whole...
It has propellers.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go 5 on that one, too. I mean, it's not near as clear as the UFO that I showed.
Obvious.
But That was interesting, man. That was kind of interesting. Samuel says what?
I'm going with a 1.
A 1?
Because the last one, was just
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
like a cylinder in the air. How is that up in the air? This one's got propellers. You can fly anything with propellers in the air.
You're making an assumption that's a propeller.
It sounds like one.
I say it's dragon wings.
Dragon wings.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go 5. You got 5.
And
6.
Large interdimensional fairy. I don't know what that was. It's weird.
Hey, Zachariah, there were women with wings flying the Ephah. So they're making a test run, getting ready.
Boom. Roasted.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to fly through some of these other ones
right,
just for the sake of time.
Interesting.
Then you could have got the exact same footage, but back from Honduras over the Tampa International Airport.
No,
You would have saw aliens?
I wonder.
Wait till the zoom up here. It's like when they zoom up close on a star and you see the watery effect. What do you think?
I'm going to go 6, 7 on that one for investigation. Investigation.
If you got 6 lights out there and everyone in the plane is able to look out the window and see them and it's dead silent in your plane, then it probably is just other planes outside the window.
Unless the UFO is striking you with silence.
Okay.
So here, now I'm going to go to some skinwalkers.
Yes, because what is a skinwalker in the Navajo culture? A skinwalker is a malevolent witch with the ability to transform into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. Skinwalkers are believed to be able to shape-shift into animals. Traditional accounts vary across anthropological peoples.
So this is a skinwalker outside of their animal form.
Okay.
So emphasis on the witch.
So
it's not going to play now.
Always does that.
This isn't just going to be like a homeless guy, is it?
Hold on a second.
Are you saying this isn't just a homeless person?
No. This is a skinwalker here.
Skinwalkers are notoriously for being witches, and they manifest. They try to hide, but they can't.
We're not going back to the past where women had no rights. Ever.
Okay. So that is your home run. You're looking at 2 skinwalkers right there.
That's a 10 out of 10, man.
That's a 10 out of 10. They cannot contain themselves.
That's just a psycho-liberal.
Well, potato.
Yeah.
Skinwalker, psycho-liberal.
Yeah.
Okay, Samuel. We got to transition.
Okay, I'm gonna keep walking towards it. Might actually get to capture something here. Son of a bitch. Alright, whatever you are, you need to leave. Stay out of this place. This is our home. This is our home. You need to leave. You need to leave now. I don't think it's going to come around for a little bit. I think that'll keep it away for a while.
So what do you think of that? The story behind that video is that guy has seen that thing multiple times outside before. The people that I heard talking about or that I read said that it's interesting because humans' eyes don't glow in the dark like that. Wanted to see your guys' opinion on it. I think it's just a fake video, but it was trending a few weeks ago, and I thought Maybe you guys.
If it is a fake, it's an elaborate. I wasn't impressed with the chamber round because you can make that with any sound. I wasn't impressed. I mean, if you're going to fire a shot, obviously you could do that safely, but still, you're going that extra mile. He doesn't seem. The concern to me is he doesn't seem concerned. He's almost like he's like shooing away a cat.
If I had a gun like that, I would.
Well, that's true. That's different. There's definitely something there. Is it a human? Is it a fake? There's definitely something there.
Would a skunk ape's eyes reflect light like that?
Probably.
Yeah.
I would assume. I'm not an expert in Sasquatch.
You would have been.
So, from my research, what I have come across is that when people encounter cryptids or anything like that, there is a dimensional field, if I can use that word, where there is a real, this is not normal. I'm in the presence of something not normal. That seems to be a very, in the research journal work, however they say it, that seems to be a reality. He seems to be kind of chill about it. So I'm a little on the for side with that. I would like to see more of that, but I'm a little on the for side because he doesn't have this, like, this isn't normal type of a thing.
I'm with you.
Yeah? What do you think?
I think it's like a 1.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't believe his own videos.
Yeah, he disses his own stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see the next one.
Number 2.
A nice ghost video here.
Wait. Now, we're not for the Sanhedrin. We are not the ones calling up the ghost. We were just making comment on whether this is soul trap material or not. Here we go. Stop. I can tell you right now it's a yes. You've got a dark hallway, you've got lights, I see flickering, and you hear banging sounds.
Just leave.
You turn around and go.
Yeah.
Why can't you ever investigate this stuff in the daytime? Okay, here we go. Let's start again. Yep.
Let's slam in doors.
Ooh.
Angry toddler.
Really?
What is that?
Looks like a crematorium.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's where
That's where it ends. What do you think of that?
That's weird.
Isn't it? I thought at first when I watched it, I was like, oh, the lights went off so the person inside could get out and run away.
Uh-huh.
But when they showed what's inside, there's no way someone could fit or crawl in there. So they're not behind it slamming it.
It's obviously not in America.
No.
Dude, that's 6 or 7 to me.
Yeah.
That's worth investigation.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's
They're very chill about it too, though, but the guy has a gun drawn. It looks like when he's walking down there, right?
Yeah.
That's 6 or 7, man. It's not a home run, but that's like you said, that's what I was saying. Light went out. Okay, somebody's going to jump out. It's a jump scare. But there's just no room in there. I don't know how you would tie something in there to make it slam,
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right. 6, 7. That's pretty good, man.
Right.
And you don't know. What is your thinking on that?
Oh, I'd probably just like fishing line, slamming the door. I don't know.
Let's go both ways. Yeah, it's coming.
No. You got to give that at least a 3.
Yeah, no, that's like a 5, man.
5. Okay. Kev?
I'm going with an 8. That's kind of weird.
8. Yeah, that one's wonky.
Yeah, there was nothing physical manifesting itself, so I can't go any higher than that.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get a physical manifestation in this last one. It's a quick one here.
Mm-hmm. I love exploring old buildings.
Till this happens.
This is daytime too. They're not stupid. This is daytime.
Oh, what is that? Ugh.
No. All right. Sam got a home run on that one.
That's creepy.
There was something in it because he started breathing hard and he didn't oversell it. He didn't like, oh my God. Ah! He just started breathing, I'm getting out of here. You know?
It's weird.
That was...
Whether it's a paranormal thing or just a weird homeless guy on top of all those dirty mattresses, I'm running either way.
Either one scares me, to be honest with you, right? I get creeped out with like alien stuff. I get creeped out with an old homeless guy at the corner of 14th.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. That last one though, if that was fake, that was a very good artistic because it was undersell. It was not screaming, it wasn't yelling. He looked in, he's walking up, and it was the noise, that kind of. We got to look at that one more time. All right, let's start. Back it up a little bit. One more time. You guys have the final say watching. What do you think? I gotta turn it up. It almost looks like a spider kind of a...
Yeah. You can see like a really skinny leg.
Yeah.
That's weird, man.
That's weird. Okay. Well, there you go. You tell us, you rank them. We'll put them on there. Is there a way we put them in the... We'll list them on there. You tell us which ones you think are real.
Rank them in the comments would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, rank it in the comments for us. Let us know what you think. Send us some videos. Send us some links if you have some. And now you know what keeps us up into the wee hours of the morning here at the Soul Trap. We'll catch you soon.